Good evening. My name is Graham. I'm a Yorkshireman who's been living down here, down under, in Australia for 54 years now, and it's been a sort of mixture of pleasure and pain and all that, but a long one allows to get a fair bit of humour about it. But the funniest thing at the moment is political correctness, or what I determined it's called. Uh, or the politics of corporations, that's what it is. Political correctness, or reverse it, corporate politics. And that's what it really is. It's a means of controlling society by intimidating them into having a phobia about saying anything that may upset the PC crowd, or the PC, what I call PC warriors. Recently we had a guy, and we could talk about belief tonight, because it is evening. Now, recently in Australia, we had a guy called Islamo-phobia, who's a guy from Samoa, or wherever he is, from the Pacific Islands, a big black guy. He plays rugby league, and he's a very staunch Christian. And he said that he thinks homosexuals will end up in hell and all that. And they said he's homophobic. Right. Now, he's not homophobic. He didn't say he hates homosexuals. He said what God is in his head, what God has got planned for homosexuals, right? And so he's kind of been dragged over the public coals, if you like, of politically correct opprobrium, where all the politically correct people all totally agree, all the thousands of them, all totally are in coincidental harmonic agreement on every single issue. They're told that is the issue they must be in harmonic agreement with. And that's what they've done on Israel for now. They've all said, oh, well, we can't say that about homosexuals. And these same people, the very same people, oddly, because they are not coherent, they don't make coherent sentences, just like harp on, barking like dogs, all saying the same thing, repeating what everyone says, but not actually putting any two thoughts together and linking the thoughts and say, what does it actually mean? So all these people are saying, we believe in the devil. All the political correct people are saying they believe homosexuals may go to hell, because either hell exists or it doesn't, and I think it's a nonsense myself. So if someone says to me, go to hell, I'm not going to go, oh no, that's condemn me to hell, because, well, what hell is that? And all these people in Australia, these PC warriors, that's what they are, PC warriors. They're warriors for a sort of new sort of socialist elite cult, what's behind the scenes and pushing this PC barrier stuff, barrow stuff, and trying to force it upon society, and in the same time causing great divisions within society over what is mostly nothing, when one looks at it and has a bit of a sense of humour and has a bit of a laugh at it. Because I doubt if many real homosexuals, are really concerned at what Israel Folau said, because, well, why would you be? Does it matter if a rugby league player has a Christian view, no different to what most Muslims have, and many other Christians think the same thing, but he expressed it out loud, which is surely, in the days of diversity, we're all celebrating being diverse. Some guy who's suddenly different, you're all condemning him because he's not exactly the same as all what they are. How contradictory can you get when you can say someone is actually diverse in his opinion to what these people are, but then he's condemned, and he's a black guy as well, so he's a black guy who's now condemned for being different. And it also starts to get round down in what is called nonsensical rubbish that these PC warriors come up with, just to try and cause more and more fractures in society. But what the real reason is here? And the real reason is, they talk about homophobia, Islamophobia. Now, there must be a phobia, like a sort of phobia being created in society by the PC warriors, so that everyone's got a fear, so many people have got a fear of being politically incorrect and getting attacked by these people, or being sacked. The thing is, this guy is supposed to be sacked from playing rugby league. Now, I don't see what the connection was with his Christian views in his ability to play rugby. I don't know what the connection is. If he goes on the football field and plays rugby, well, he's playing rugby. When he's off the field, he's a different person. He's a Christian. He's only a rugby league player when he's playing rugby. When he's off the field, he's just an individual. And they're saying, oh, they're perpetually a footballer. No, he's not. He's occupied and paid as a footballer, but he's an individual. And it makes a total lot of nonsense about, well, we support diversity. Well, no, actually, you support a flatlining of society, all into have an opinion that's approved by some sort of elite enclave of people of putting this idiom out into society that you can't say this, you can't say that, you can't think this, you can't say that, you have to believe what we're saying. Otherwise, you'll be ostracized. And what it is, it's a way of intimidating the rest of society, all the people employed in jobs, what important jobs, doing a job. It's a means of intimidation of everyone in society who's employed in any position, what might say something that they can sack them for. This is an excuse, a precedent of being able to sack people for being different at work, or being a different individual to what is officially approved by the PC warriors and the socialist elite all behind this. Because they're saying you cannot have any belief other than Islam, which is allowed to believe whatever it likes about homosexuals and stone them and whatever it does to them in Iran or Iraq or Saudi Arabia, whatever it does to people and women and whatever, hangs them whatever for being blasphemous or whatever. It doesn't matter. It never says a word about that religion, which is, and then says you can't be Islamophobic. Well, I say if you can't have a fear about something that you don't like, well, you can get a phobia. What causes a phobia? Let's examine the word phobia first before it's like condemning people for having one. It doesn't make sense to say, you can't have a phobia now, can you? Because of it's politically correct to have some phobia, incorrect to have some phobias, but okay to have other phobias? Hang on a minute. It gets a bit silly, and it is all a bit silly, and I'm afraid of politicians and leaders, there are very few leaders in the Western world at the moment who dare speak English. I mean, they speak rubbish, and they have to go along this politically correct bullshit, because they don't say anything towards it, because they might lose a seat. This is the problem with democracy now, it's falling down block at a time, it's domino effect. Each seat that is dominated by a bunch of people who sort of control the situation of political mind by political correctness now dominates that seat. So the politicians have to cater the what is actually rabble and rubbish, a rubbish opinion of people who've never had one original thought or creative intelligent thought in their life, and now controlling the politics of the West by controlling the political mind of each individual seats, and it's decaying and destroying gradually the idea of democracy and Western civilization itself. And that politicians in the West can't say anything about it means that there are very few Western politicians that I know of that are standing up for Western civilization at the moment, like capitulated to something else due to the fact the phenomenon called PC or political correctness, which is then attacks you for having an opinion about any number of things that they will then can attack you for. There's any number of things. They say you must believe this. These people who attack Christians for having a belief, but support for a belief in a God and hell, support Muslims for having a belief in the same God and some similar type of hell, one supposes. Pope and them all agreeing was only one God. So which God? I mean, the Muslim God is fine, it's hell and all that burning great rocks is all right. The Christian God is not okay. There's a political correctness of God now. Political correct state of being, of actually God or believing God is the Muslim is a politically correct version of God, and the Christian version is a politically incorrect version of God. So that's a bit confusing, actually, if there's only one God. If there's only one God, they're either both politically correct or politically incorrect. You can't, and so because no one can say, well, hang on a minute, let's discuss this openly and honestly and intelligently with some integrity, philosophical integrity, like the Greeks might have done, and have a proper sort of intellectualize this so it actually makes sense, because most of it, nearly all of it, actually, if you want to analyse each point down, all of it doesn't make sense. And so what's happening with this